Welcome back, True Seeker. Want to talk about the new Eminem album and the debut music video to promote the album, Darkness. If you've seen the music video, it's an obvious tribute, if you will, to the October 1st, 2017 Las Vegas shooting at the Route 91 Harvest Festival, the Jason Aldean concert. And remember, this was the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. And if you were following us leading up to this event in 2017, all year I talked about the significance of that weekend and why we might see the biggest false flag in the U.S. since 9/11. And that's exactly what we got. And my channel was deleted June of 2017 for the first time. By the time this shooting happened, I was probably already on my 7th channel because I kept telling people to circle this weekend, why it was so significant, how the dates lined up, it coming right after Yom Kippur. We'll hit it all. But again, another undeniable example of how government, media, entertainment, all on the same page and reinforcing propaganda by the numbers. The Route 91 Harvest Festival was absolutely done by this nation's government, and I'll prove that even further than I already have over the years. Of course, I've written a book about this now as well, but I'll prove that even further just using this music video. So, recall, the Route 91 Harvest Music Festival shooting was on October 1st, the day leaving 91 days left in the year. And Eminem's music video paying tribute to it is called Darkness. Again, the Masonic code of letters and numbers that our federal government operates by every single day. That's as simple as ABC123. In this code, the word darkness equals 91. Notice D's the 4th letter, A's the 1st, R's the 18th, K's the 11th. We're just doing A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. Now, not only that, but the music video came out January 16th. Guess how many days that was after Eminem's birthday? It was 91 days. 91 days. And notice 91 days is also 13 weeks. There's a mathematical relationship between 91 and 13. If you add 1 through 13 together, it equals 91. 91 is the 13th triangular number. And remember, the mainstream media, when they put out the image of the shooter, for weeks they showed him like this, with his eyes closed and with a tattoo of a number 13 on his neck. But then when the media released the image of his supposed dead body in the hotel room, you could see his neck and there was no 13 on it. But every news source, when they put out this image, you could clearly see that faint 13 on his neck. Who likes 13? Let's think about the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., named after the Scottish Rite Freemason George Washington. They have their headquarters there, the House of the Temple, and on the top of the House of the Temple are 13 layers of bricks like a pyramid, which is also where the 13 layers of bricks on the dollar bill come from. 13, the number that represents time, the cycles of the moon. Again, the Masons, the secret societies, they're into the occult esoteric knowledge. This practice of coding numbers into words comes from Kabbalah. Kabbalah says God created the world with letters, numbers, words. You know, the Masons, they're into Kabbalah, Hermeticism, alchemy, Kundalini, astrology. Things most people have brushed to the side in the modern world, thinking that's the stuff of the past, not realizing that the stuff of the past is the stuff in the present that the controllers use to still control the masses like they did thousands of years ago. Eminem, his album officially released with this song Darkness the next day, January 17th, 2020. That was a date with 58 numerology. Remember, this album, Music to Be Murdered By, was a tribute to the 1958 music album by Alfred Hitchcock. Eminem on the cover posed the same as Alfred Hitchcock. And remember, the significance of 58 in this shooting. They said that officially 58 people were killed. And if you remember, at first they reported 58, then it crept up to 59, it stayed at 59 for a week, and then they came back and said they made a mistake, it was actually just 58. Both numbers are significant, 58 and 59. We'll talk about it. But coming back to this 58, again, Eminem, this song paying tribute to this event where 58 were killed, releasing the album officially on the 58 date, paying tribute to a 1958 album. And what is 58? Well, before we get there, one more reminder. The governor of Nevada, Brian Sandoval, his birthday's August 5th, a date that can be written 5-8, and when the shooting happened that year, it was his 58th day of his age. Something we talked about right after the news broke, right after they gave us the 58 count. And remember, words such as Freemasonry and secret society equal 58. If you want to add on to that list, the Freemasons were born out of the Rosicrucian order. Rosicrucian equals 58. Rosicrucian means Rose Cross. Rose Cross is 58. The secrets of Freemasonry and the Rosicrucians are in Solomon's Temple. Solomon's Temple's 58. Masons do tracing boards to pass their first 3 degrees. Tracing board 58. United States is 58. Washington is 58. We the People's 58. Don't Tread on Me's 58. And the list goes on. Special number here. Calendar's 58. Gregorian's 58. Zodiac's 58. Solar cycle's 58. Again, there's a reason for these numbers. And the main reason is to be a Mason, you have to believe in God. And that's why they study these old world esoteric beliefs about God. A well-known name for God in the world is the Tetragrammaton. Tetragrammaton equals 58 as well. But check this out. In the music video, they show the shooter is in room 135. Now, that's not the official story. In the official story, he's not in room 135. But in the music video, he is. And why did they do that? Central Intelligence Agency equals 135, and if you think that's a joke, the head of the CIA right now is Gina Sherry Haspel, 135. Go back to May 13th, that's where they made the big news about her becoming the CIA head, and then she was confirmed 4 days later, May 17th. May 13th can be written 13/5. Now, CIA, the abbreviation is 13. 13. Think about this nation in 13. 13 colonies, 13 stripes. USA equals 41, the 13th prime. Talking about that relationship with 41 and a 13 in a moment. All these numbers, 58 numerology. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13. This came right after the Great American Solar Eclipse, which we'll talk about with regards to 13. That relates to the moon, which is on the 13-month cycle. So, and again, House of the Temple, Masonic headquarters, 13 layers of bricks that make the pyramid up at the top. This music video comes out 13 weeks after Eminem's birthday, paying tribute to 91, the 13th triangular number. So, again, this stuff is not an accident. Don't forget the CIA was established by the numbers by the 33rd president in the year 1947. 47 degrees on the Masonic compass. Big number that DC's designed around. 33rd president, Masonry secrecy order, federal all 33. At the end of the Eminem music video, this comes up. All these TVs are showing mass shooting news. You know, the overwhelming shooting here, school shooting here, public place shooting here. And then, you know, they put the caption, when will this end? And realize, all of the events they're showing you are as contrived by this code as the Vegas shooting. And a lot of them, we've told people to circle the dates before they happen because things are very predictable when you understand the repetitive pattern that the feds work by. So, and then they black that out, and then they put up the next line, when enough people care. You know what? This is true. When will this end? When enough people care. When enough people care about what I'm talking about right now. Not when enough people care about getting duped by the government that wants to take away their Second Amendment so they have absolutely no chance to fight back against federal tyranny. Because, I mean, we're already deep in the game. You hear my callers when I have this discussion, almost everybody's hopeless. Almost everybody thinks there's nothing that can be done. It's too far along. The military is too powerful. The surveillance system's too powerful. If the government believed that it was too far along, they wouldn't be going after your guns. They realize that that is what they have to do to fully neuter the populace. Because people forget the reason we have the Second Amendment is twofold. One was to have a militia to protect us from foreign invaders. But the other part, and the part we really need to be thinking about in 2020, is to defend ourselves from enemies, foreign and domestic. Domestic meaning right here, to defend ourselves from federal tyranny. A takeover, a coup, which happened a long time ago. You know, the coup is who pays entertainers such as Eminem to do their bidding. And, I mean, you know, having Eminem do this is almost as bad as having Sacha Baron Cohen, you know, speak for the ADL about how everyone needs to be censored when Sacha Baron Cohen's become famous and rich from being obscene and truly harassing people and making fun of all the different people of the world. And to his credit, being Jewish, he's even made fun of Jews. I mean, he's literally made fun of everyone. But to have him go, you know, before the people of the world and give a big speech paid for by the ADL about censoring all the people online, I mean, it is just really a joke. And Eminem, I mean, we're talking about Eminem. Go listen to a song like Amityville by Eminem and realize that song's from 20 years ago, and here we are 20 years later, and he's doing this. I mean, these people are bought and paid for. They are puppets on strings. Like I've always said, all their albums are released by the numbers, you know. Again, a lot of these people in the mainstream, you know, they don't sing their own song, but I don't think this one he did. Oh, no. Oh, no. And then at the end, they give you the register to vote, like your vote makes any difference, like this isn't a bought and paid for system. And again, this whole political thing, it drives people to vote and pretend like, make them feel like they're part of something that they're really not. And it is divisive. You know, you got the Democrats pushing more for gun control and the Republicans more like folding their arms and saying, yeah, there's a problem, but I'm not going to take away the rights. And again, realize neither of these political parties are heroes. Both parties are in on the surveillance state, Patriot Act, covering up the lies of this government, going along with the bullshit. Just realize, two parties, dividing the people, playing to one tyrant terrorist system. And don't ever forget what the real definition of terrorism is. It's government by intimidation, which is exactly what we have here. So, again, just quick recap with the 91, the thing you could show your friends and family. The Route 91 Harvest Festival was on the day leaving 91 days left in the year. And Eminem puts out this music video paying tribute 91 days after his birthday. And then after you hit him with that, just show him. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4. Write out the word darkness and show him how it equals 91. You know? You don't have to show them all the other stuff. Or you can, I mean, if they're into it. But keep it simple for most people. And now just to go back to the day of the shooting, we've done so much work on the Vegas shooting over the year, but remember, the man who was performing when the shooting happened was Jason Aldean, the country singer. And what we thought was interesting is it came out that he had this tattoo of, you know, the sun clearly blacked out. And remember, we had the Great American Solar Eclipse, August 21st, 2017, the first of its kind in 99 years. And from the day of that eclipse to the day of the shooting was 41 days later, the 13th prime number, right? And remember, they put out the image of the shooter with a 13 on his neck, USA, U is 21, S is 19, A is 1. Added up, 21 plus 19 plus 1 is 41, 13 prime, 13 stripes, 13 colonies, big number with this nation. 13 years of public school programming, turning the average citizen into a coincidence theorist. But here, I just want to remind people about the other 13 part of this. So, what I had been saying all year is the date that Yom Kippur fell on, which was just days before this shooting. And I told people to circle this weekend after Yom Kippur. Right around this time, I expected there to be a huge event. Notice when you write out Yom Kippur, it sums to 99, right? When you write out 13, it equals 99 as well. And Mandalay Bay, the casino that the shooter was supposedly shooting from, equals 99. And what do they call Vegas? They call it Sin City, right? Sin City's 99. And what Yom Kippur is about is atonement for your sins, punishment for your sins. So this Sin City shooting by the numbers comes right after Yom Kippur. And by the way, they said that the shooter, Stephen Paddock, and here, let's just make sure they haven't changed any of this information over the years, because sometimes information does change. Nope, they still got it. So Stephen Paddock's birthday is still April 9th, and that is the 99th day of the year. April 9th is the 99th day of the year. You see? It's also the day leaving 266 days left in the year, and this is another side topic, but that's a huge number with the Jesuit order, another very powerful secret society that has a lot of history in the nation's capital, which was once the Catholic colony ruled by the Jesuits. It's why the first Jesuit university in the nation, Georgetown, is there. 266 is a huge number with the Jesuits. We have the 266th Pope right now, Francis, the first publicly Jesuit Pope. But remember what happened just before the shooting. Big news just before the shooting. The biggest news in the nation just before the shooting was the death of Hugh Hefner, who has the road near the shooting in Vegas. Big Vegas personality, Hugh Hefner. He died on September 27th. The Jesuit orders. And you might not have been able to see what I was just showing because it pulled up on a different tab. Hold on. Let me do it right here. You should see it here. My fault. I forgot because I'm on the live stream. You can only see in one of my tabs. So right now you should see it. So Stephen Paddock's born on April 9th. And again, April 9th is the 99th day of the year, leaving 266 days remaining. The motto of the Jesuits in Gematria sums to 266. Okay. So again, Jason Aldean, the performer, with his black hole son. Chris Cornell had just died around that time, supposedly from suicide. And then Chester Bennington committed suicide, who had another song about, related lyrics. But he committed suicide on Chris Cornell's birthday. And anyway, there were just all these different rituals going on. The other thing to say about Jason Aldean, his initials, J, the 10th letter, A, the first letter, so 10-1, like the date of the shooting, October 1st. And you know what's interesting? His tattoo, J, is the 10th letter again, and then A. I'm sure that's why he has that tattoo, the Joker and the Ace, because those are his initials. But 10-1, synced up with the eclipse. If you've seen the Aaron Hernandez documentary they just put out about the murders, I just did a video on that if you want to check it out. It's all by the same code. But they talk about how his tattoos told the story of the murders connected to his life as well. The big rituals. Don't forget, in the Illuminati card game, there's the Las Vegas card. And again, the Bavarian Illuminati was established with 13 families on May 1st, 1776. 5 plus 1 plus 17 plus 76 equals 99. And don't forget, this nation, which was established the same year as the Bavarian Illuminati, was named the United States of America on September 9th. 9/9, 1776. That's the day this nation got its name. 9/9. Again, that when you write out 13, 99. 13 colonies, 13 stripes. If you're new here, there are 4 base ciphers: alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, reverse alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. You want to know all the ciphers. Earlier we talked about Central Intelligence Agency and 135. Notice it's also 117. And remember, CIA's 13 with the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. That's because it's all single-digit numbers. It doesn't have to be reduced. But again, when you write out 13, it's also 117. Again, the system is cleverly thought out. So, cover a few more things here and we'll wrap it up. Just to remind people about the October 1st shooting, 10-1. By the way, if you want to go back to the death of Proof, which was synced up with Eminem's birthday, he was killed on the 101st day of the year, April 11th. assassin equals 101. 101. And in Jewish gematria outside of the ciphers, assassins 411. Proof was killed on April 11th, 411, the 101st day of the year. But if you write out Mandalay Bay Casino, it's 101. Again, that shooter was supposedly shooting from Mandalay Bay Casino. And casino alone is also 101. See how nice that works out? Also, the shooting happened exactly 223 months after the hotel opened. The hotel opened March 2nd, 1999. It opened in 99. Again, like we just covered, Yom Kippur, Mandalay Bay, Sin City, 13, all 99. Somebody keeps calling in from No Caller ID. I'm just going to take it real quick. We'll see. What's up, No Caller ID?
Hey, Zach. I was just wondering if you think anything's going to be happening February 2nd, like considering Brexit is only 2 days prior.
Well, it's the day of the Super Bowl, and historically, the Super Bowl's the event for that day. I mean, because they got the mind's eye of the masses already on that day, and they'll do their subliminal programming with their halftime show that'll oftentimes foretell other riddles to come that year. So, I mean,
yeah,
usually that's it.
Demi Lovato.
Yeah. There could be big events in the world that day. I mean, it is the 33rd day of the year, but we'll see.
Yeah, like Dr. Savage has been putting out lots of stuff. I don't know how accurate it is, but he's pretty much saying that next 9/11 is happening, so I'm not sure about that, but yeah.
Yeah, people are, I mean, because, you know, it's in people's, so people who research the truth, they know how much predictive programming is out there for a terrible event to happen at a football game, and it is possible. But, again, I feel like usually the ritual on the day of the Super Bowl is the ritual. So,
True.
yeah.
You think there's, like, systems in place to, like, change outcomes based on, like, the volume of bets?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna finish up this, though. I want to finish talking about this here before we go on to other topics. So,
Okay.
all right. Take care, man.
Thanks.
See you.
Me too.
Okay, so again, you can look it up. The Mandalay Bay Casino did open March 2nd, 99, 100% factual. The shooting did happen 223 months today, and again, that's a big number with the Masons as well. Again, I'm telling you, the Masons run this thing in Jewish gematria. I got to spell it right. In Jewish gematria, Masonics 223, that is the 48th prime number. And again, there's a rapper out there, Black Youngsta. He put out an album called Illuminati, and then his next album was 223. But notice Freemason is 48, and notice Illuminati is also 48. And again, that Black Youngsta, by the way, two of his brothers have been killed by this code. But after his Illuminati album, let me just show you something about this rapper, Black Youngsta, real quick. Hold up. Black Youngsta. I forget how to spell his name. His birthday is April 8th. You see that? 4-8, like Illuminati's 48. But he said the reason he called his album 223 is because it took him 223 weeks. Oh, whoops. To make $2 million. $2 million. 223. Took him 223 weeks to make $2 million. Do you believe it? Those albums cost his brothers their lives. The phrase the synagogue of Satan is also 223. And if you know what that term applies to, the synagogue of Satan, comes from Revelation, the final book of the Bible. And it stated that the people who claim to be Jews but are not, but who are the false Jews, are the synagogue of Satan. And again, don't forget, this whole ritual was synced up with the most important Jewish holy day. And again, that's not to say that Jews are responsible. It's to say that, you know, the synagogue of Satan is. And for one more thing about music videos, since we started with the Eminem music video, you can look up this Jason Aldean song. By the way, Jason Aldean's born February 28th. That's the 59th day of the year. Jason's 59. In his music video called When She Says Baby, which equals 59, which is also a number connected to killing in Jewish gematria. Notice Jason Aldean's got all this 33 gematria. Again, there's the house of the temple. Isn't it funny that all these years ago I was making the same point about 33 and the house of the temple and the 13 bricks on the top and the shooting, and now years later we're talking about another music video with Eminem paying tribute to this event with the same numbers. But in this music video, he's driving through Vegas. He's driving all over the country, but when he gets to Vegas, he's driving down the strip, and then they put up these lyrics on the screen. Everything gonna be all right, just lay down by my side. And remember, that was the reporting of what the concert goers did when all the shots rang out. They hit the deck. Stories of couples, attending the concert, laying side by side, praying for their lives. These lyrics on the screen in the Jason Aldean music video are the lyrics that essentially explain what so many people did during the shooting at his concert. So, again, we've been proven for years. Government, entertainment, news stories, all synced, all perfectly. And, again, I just don't know how people deny it. I do not know how people deny it. So, one last thing. Again, thank you to everyone who's supported the fundraiser. We've reached over the halfway far. But again, it's just when I ask for things, it's always the same group of people for the most part who donate. And a lot of times they're the people who are already doing the work, having their own blogs, their own YouTube channels. It's just like, only 44 people have donated. And I'm very grateful for that. But again, I mean, what if 400 people already chipped in $5? I'd already be booking the flight and we'd be on our way to Louisiana. That's just what makes me sad. There's so few people who follow who are willing to do anything. So few people who are willing to spend $5 on my book that's a wealth of knowledge. It's just... And I bet a lot of you out there, honestly, who haven't bought the book, because a lot of you commented yesterday that you've already bought the Eminem album. I've seen a lot of you leave that comment, and I've never seen you guys say anything about my book. I mean, so you didn't have $5 for my book all these years. You probably don't have $5 for the donation, but you already gave your money back to the Illuminati. And you guys think you're truth seekers? You guys think you're part of the counter resistance? You're not. You are the Illuminati pawns. That's why they got you. They got your mind and your soul. That's why you don't have $5 for this work. You don't have $5 for this mission. But you already went out and spent, what did the album cost? What's it cost to stream the album or download the album? At least $10, I imagine. You had $10 for that instantly. It's because the Illuminati owns you. You might think you're a truth seeker, but you're not. You're an Illuminati pawn, giving your money to the big corporations, the people who own us. You just paid for the next false flag and the next music video to promote it. And the next music video to persuade people to bow down to tyranny and federal propaganda. So, sorry to say it, but it's got to be said because these are facts too. So, and again, this isn't about making money. This is about making change and doing it efficiently. A $2,000 fund to go make a 1-week documentary in Louisiana about all the people who've been ritualistically murdered in the past year for the LSU championship. Educating young people, old people alike in the city, on the campus in New Orleans, around the area. These are the types of things that need to happen. And $2,000, how many films get made for $2,000? I've seen comments that's too. You don't need $2,000 to do that. I don't need $2,000 to travel across the country, back, lodging. Again, I don't think that's that much to ask for an important project from a community of thousands of people. So, again, thank you to the people who have donated. Top pin post will be the place if you do want to support. And we'll be back sooner than later, Truth Seeker. Till next time.